In recent years, Jungkook of BTS has emerged not only as a leader in the Korean music industry, but also as a dominant figure on the global stage. His award record is remarkable, often exceeding that of many US pop stars who traditionally dominated international stages. This phenomenon has forced industry observers, academics, and journalists to reconsider the distribution of cultural capital in the modern entertainment industry. Jungkook's trajectory demonstrates a significant shift in how the music business defines global success. The dominance of US artists in awards shows whether the Grammys, Billboard Music Awards, MTV Video Music Awards, or American Music Awards was once seen as untouchable. These institutions historically served as platforms where American musicians validated their careers. However, Jungkook's arrival on the solo stage, combined with his BTS legacy, has introduced a new form of competition that extends beyond geographic boundaries. He has accumulated accolades not only in Korea, but also in Europe, Latin America, and the United States, sometimes outpacing American artists in categories that were once considered inaccessible to non-Western performers. The global awards system itself reflects more than simple musical recognition. It represents the interaction between music, marketing, fandom culture, and digital reach. Jungkook's dominance highlights how the balance of power has shifted from institution-driven recognition to audience-driven influence, where fans around the world play a central role in voting-based awards. At the same time, institutional panels increasingly cannot ignore streaming data, digital chart dominance, and undeniable audience impact, which are areas where Jungkook has excelled. The result is that awards which were once monopolized by American superstars like Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, or Post Malone now often list Jungkook among the winners or nominees, creating a new competitive hierarchy. The shift did not happen overnight. BTS, as a group, first began breaking into American awards in 2017, when they won the Billboard Music Award for Top Social Artist, overtaking Justin Bieber's long-standing hold on the category. That moment signaled a change. American institutions could no longer overlook fan-driven success from Asia. As a solo artist, Jungkook inherited that momentum and expanded it further. His singles have charted globally with such intensity that award bodies, both in the US and abroad, have had no choice but to acknowledge his reach. Jungkook's solo tracks, such as Seven and Standing Next to You, were not only commercial successes, but also critical talking points in Western media. They earned him multiple international nominations and wins, including at the Billboard Music Awards and MTV EMAs. What is striking is that these awards were not confined to K-pop categories. Instead, Jungkook was placed alongside US megastars in mainstream pop categories. That placement demonstrates institutional recognition of his standing as a global pop icon rather than a regional phenomenon. Comparatively, many US artists struggle to achieve this level of dual recognition. While they may dominate in domestic award shows, their influence abroad is less consistent. Jungkook, however, achieves cross-continental validation, accumulating trophies in Seoul, London, Los Angeles, and Latin America. His success pattern reflects an artist who is not restricted by borders or language barriers. To understand the magnitude of Jungkook's dominance, a comparative lens is essential. If we consider award wins between 2022 and 2025, Jungkook's name consistently appears across a variety of international award shows. His tally includes Billboard Music Awards, wins in fan-voted categories, and recognition in streaming categories. MTV Video Music Awards, multiple nominations, with at least one significant win for a solo release. European Music Awards, EMAs, recognition in global categories, where he often outperformed US artists. Korean award shows, Mama, Melon, Golden Disc, consistent wins that add to his cumulative award count. When compared to US artists like Shawn Mendes or Camila Cabello, Jungkook's award count within the same time frame is notably higher. Even when stacked against heavyweight American artists such as The Weeknd or Doja Cat, his wins in fan-driven international categories give him a numerical advantage. This advantage is magnified by the fact that Jungkook operates in multiple award ecosystems: Korean, Asian, European, and American. While US artists generally focus on the Western circuit, this multi-regional accumulation of awards means that Jungkook not only matches, but often surpasses US artists in raw totals. It highlights how globalization has changed the playing field. Success is no longer confined to one geographic market, but depends on worldwide resonance. One of the primary reasons Jungkook has been able to outpace US pop stars in award accumulation is the rise of digital platforms. Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Apple Music serve as measurable spaces where artists' popularity translates into award eligibility. Jungkook's dominance on these platforms has been extraordinary. His music videos consistently cross the 100 million view mark in record time, while his Spotify streams rival and often exceed those of leading American artists. Award committees increasingly take these numbers into account when making decisions, especially in categories linked to commercial performance. Moreover, digital platforms play a central role in fan voting systems. BTS's fandom, ARMY, has already demonstrated its power in mobilizing votes worldwide. That same infrastructure supports Jungkook's solo endeavors, ensuring that he remains a frontrunner in voting-based awards. This fan-driven model contrasts with the US pop star system, where much of the award recognition still depends on label lobbying, traditional media exposure, and domestic radio play. Jungkook's success illustrates a paradigm shift toward direct artist-fan interaction, bypassing traditional gatekeepers. His wins, therefore, reflect not only artistic output, but also the structural transformation of the global music industry. The infiltration of Jungkook into US-dominated awards has created visible ripples. American artists who once faced limited global competition now contend with a Korean artist consistently ranking alongside them. This presence alters voting dynamics, fan mobilization, and public interest. Award shows, which thrive on global viewership, benefit from including Jungkook in their rosters. His name generates international attention, boosting ratings and digital engagement. At the same time, his dominance challenges the traditional hierarchy where American pop stars were assumed to be at the top by default. Jungkook's wins illustrate that US artists no longer hold a monopoly over mainstream recognition. His success signifies a redistribution of influence, where global artists can equal or surpass American performers in award counts. The phenomenon of Jungkook winning more awards than US pop stars is not merely a statistic. It reflects the broader globalization of music consumption. The industry no longer revolves around a single cultural hub. Instead, it operates through interconnected networks where Korean, Latin American, African, and European artists compete directly with American musicians on equal footing. Jungkook's achievements highlight this cultural leveling, where quality, digital reach, and fan mobilization matter more than geography. For scholars of cultural studies, this shift represents a disruption of the cultural imperialism model, where Western entertainment dominated global narratives. Jungkook's dominance suggests that cultural exchange is now more reciprocal, with non-Western figures leading in spaces once thought exclusive to the United States. His award wins symbolize a redistribution of symbolic power within the entertainment field. The difference is not simply about numbers, but about organization. ARMY operates almost like a professional body, with fan groups creating voting guides, tutorials, and schedules. This collective action magnifies Jungkook's award potential, giving him an advantage over US artists who rely more on organic enthusiasm rather than structured campaigns. Another structural factor that contributes to Jungkook's success is the growing reliance on digital streaming data in award decisions. With the music industry's shift from physical album sales to streaming, platforms like Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music have become central indicators of popularity. Award organizations increasingly integrate this data into their criteria, either formally or informally. Jungkook's solo releases have repeatedly broken streaming records, particularly on Spotify, where his numbers rival or surpass American artists. The single 7 became one of the fastest songs to reach major milestones on the platform. These metrics are difficult for award committees to overlook, as they provide objective evidence of commercial success. While US artists such as Olivia Rodrigo or Travis Scott also generate strong streaming figures, Jungkook's numbers are consistently global rather than regionally skewed. This gives him a stronger case in international award categories. Moreover, YouTube continues to play a critical role in shaping award recognition. Jungkook's music videos regularly accumulate hundreds of millions of views in short time frames, outperforming or matching US counterparts. Since visual impact is highly valued in categories like Best Music Video or Best Performance, this dominance further strengthens his award portfolio. HYBE, Jungkook's label, plays a significant role in amplifying his award chances. Unlike some US labels that prioritize specific award campaigns, such as lobbying for Grammys, HYBE operates globally with a multi-pronged strategy. Jungkook is positioned simultaneously in the Korean, US, and international markets. His releases are marketed in multiple languages, distributed across all major platforms, and promoted through global media campaigns. This positioning allows Jungkook to compete on several fronts at once. For example, while US artists often focus heavily on Grammy recognition, Jungkook's team ensures he is present in American awards, but also equally competitive in Asian and European shows. This diversification minimizes risk and maximizes recognition. Even if he does not secure wins in one region, others compensate, leading to an overall higher award count. Furthermore, HYBE's digital-first approach aligns well with the new award ecosystem. Rather than relying solely on traditional radio play or physical sales, the label invests heavily in social media visibility, streaming optimization, and fan engagement campaigns. This strategy complements ARMY's efforts, making Jungkook nearly unbeatable in categories influenced by global audience participation. To fully grasp Jungkook's comparative advantage, it is important to identify the structural weaknesses of US pop stars in the award ecosystem. Many American artists are heavily dependent on domestic recognition. While they dominate the Grammys, AMAs, or Billboard Music Awards, they often have limited visibility in Asian or fan-voted international awards. Their fan bases, while large, are less mobilized outside North America and Europe. Additionally, US artists often face competition saturation within their own markets. With multiple high-profile pop stars releasing music simultaneously, award recognition is fragmented. In contrast, Jungkook competes in multiple regions, allowing him to accumulate awards in Korea, Europe, and America without facing the same concentrated competition in each space. Another structural weakness lies in the dependency on label-driven campaigning. The Grammy system, for example, requires significant lobbying and industry connections. While US artists excel here, it limits their global recognition if the campaign is unsuccessful. Jungkook, however, bypasses this reliance by leaning on streaming metrics and fan-driven votes, giving him a more resilient award pathway. Winning awards across different markets carries symbolic significance. For Jungkook, victories in Korean award shows solidify his domestic dominance, while wins in American or European contexts validate his global status. This dual recognition creates a feedback loop. Western awards elevate his reputation in Korea, while Korean awards demonstrate his consistency to international audiences. The result is an accumulation of symbolic capital that extends beyond simple trophy counts. For US pop stars, the situation is often reversed. Wins in domestic awards may not carry the same symbolic weight internationally, as they are expected rather than exceptional. This explains why Jungkook's wins feel more impactful on the global stage. His ability to consistently cross borders in award recognition signals a new model of pop stardom, one that is not geographically constrained. Another dimension of Jungkook's success lies in how awards function as strategic assets in his personal branding. In today's entertainment landscape, awards are not only symbolic, but also practical tools for negotiation with brands, media, and collaborators. For Jungkook, his growing award portfolio strengthens his position as a global ambassador for companies such as Calvin Klein. Brands are attracted not only to his image, but also to the credibility that comes with consistent recognition across diverse award institutions. This dynamic further distinguishes him from many US pop stars. While American artists certainly have brand partnerships, their award portfolios are often regionally concentrated. Jungkook's global award dominance makes him uniquely appealing to multinational corporations seeking to penetrate both Western and Asian markets simultaneously. Thus, his award wins create tangible business advantages, reinforcing his cultural and commercial influence. Looking ahead, it is reasonable to assume that Jungkook's award dominance will continue given current industry trends. Digital platforms will remain central to award criteria, and fan-driven categories are unlikely to diminish in importance. As long as ARMY remains active and HYBE continues its global strategy, Jungkook will maintain his advantage over US pop stars in cumulative award counts. However, his dominance also raises broader questions about the future of awards. Will American institutions like the Grammys adjust to better recognize global talent, or will they remain primarily US-focused? Will European and Asian awards grow in global prestige, potentially challenging the centrality of American shows? Jungkook's success suggests that the music industry may be moving toward a more decentralized model of recognition, where no single region monopolizes cultural validation. In that landscape, Jungkook represents the prototype of the new global pop star, one who competes and wins in multiple regions simultaneously, leveraging both fan-driven power and institutional recognition. His dominance over US pop stars in award counts is therefore not an anomaly, but an indication of where the industry is headed.